Hi everyone, and this is Julie, and welcome to day 11. We're near the end of our Power of Our Breath 14 days of breathwork practice. So lots of variety in terms of what we've done the last sort of week or so. So we started off with lots of calming breaths, breaths that will help sort of lower the or activate the parasympathetic nervous system to allow the body to come into that relax and repair mode. So we're using the breath in those instances to sort of help calm the body. So if you're suffering from stress or anything like anxiety, the breath is a really, really useful tool to help calm the body down. The last couple of days we've done a little bit more stimulating breath work. So again, as well as the body can sort of calm down with breath work, it can also activate the sympathetic nervous system, so it'll help the body feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more stimulated. And today's breath is called a Tummo Breath. Now this is probably my all-time favourite breath work. I love this. I tend to do this most days, or not when I've got a cold, but I have done this pretty much most days for nearly a year now. And it is pretty awesome. This one is it's very stimulating. It stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. So it's probably not good if you've got a heart condition or if you're pregnant. So that's those little safety things out of the way. So what we're doing with this particular breath, we're actually causing ourselves to become hyperventilated. So you basically, when you overbreathe, you become hyperventilated. So you've got a lot of oxygen in your body. So this is a particularly really good way of getting more oxygen in the body. It helps your lungs become more efficient. It's particularly good if you're sort of trying to work your way through something. So if there's like a blockage or an emotional blockage, it's really good for sort of clearing out, because we tend to hold emotion sort of around the gut area and sort of around the sort of like the lower abdomen. So by using this breath, it's a really good way of clearing out any emotional baggage. So it's quite powerful. This breath tends to be what people use to, I don't know if you've seen free divers that go swimming in the ocean, and they stay under for about sort of 7, 8, 9 minutes. This is the type of breath that they use to actually train to do that. So it really will allow you to increase your lung capacity. It really heats up your body as well, so it gets the body really, really warmed up. It just allows you to sort of be able to tolerate a bit more extreme conditions. So if you are if you do find that it won't, because it warms the body up, I tend to use this one before I go into cold water. So this has really, really helped my body keep warm before I go into the cold water. So again, it's a really, really good sort of technique to do that as well. So on a physiological level, what we're trying to do is we're trying to exhale a lot of CO2. So when you're breathing, there's a natural exchange of gases. So when you take a breath in, you're breathing in O2 or oxygen, predominantly O2 and oxygen. So the oxygen goes into your bloodstream and around to all the organs, and then the waste product of that is basically CO2. But you have to have a certain amount of CO2 in your body for that exchange to take place. So what we're trying to do in this technique is basically really oxygenate your body, so there's got a lot of oxygen in the body, and then lower the CO2 levels. And your body has a natural instinct when it knows that the CO2 levels are very low to actually breathe back in again. So you'll actually find that you'll actually feel that you want to breathe back in. So what we're going to do, we're going to basically pump oxygen into our bodies. So we're going to do the 3-part breath that we did at the very start. So we're going to breathe into the fullness of all the lungs, so breathing in and then out. So you can imagine we're fully breathing in, say 100%, but when we breathe out, we're only going to breathe out to about sort of 80%. So we're breathing, pumping more oxygen in the body, getting rid of the CO2, more oxygen, CO2. So it's basically we're going to increase the oxygen supply in the body. So we're going to do those breaths for about 30 times. And then what we're going to do on the out breath, the very last one, we're going to let that breath go, not all the way, maybe to about 30-40%. So you've got a little bit of stuff in your lungs. Hold that breath out, and we're going to hold that breath. So normally to start off with, I would say maybe hold it for about 30, 40, 45 seconds or so. And then we're going to take a deep breath in, get all the oxygen back in your body, and then we're going to hold that breath for about 15 seconds. And what that does, it oxygenates your body again. Release that breath, and then we'll start it again. We normally do about sort of four rounds of it, really. So the more you do, the more obviously the second, third, fourth breath practice, your second, third or fourth round you do, you'll find you'll be able to hold your breath for a little bit longer. So the first time we're going to hold it for about 45 seconds, maybe then about a minute. maybe about 1.5 minutes, the third one, and then the last one I'm actually going to let you hold your breath as long as you feel comfortable. Obviously, if those times aren't suitable for you, you need to breathe before that, that's absolutely fine. But you probably will find, heat in your body. You might find tingling in your fingertips. You might find sort of weird, sort of tingly sensations all over your body, which is actually quite pleasant. So it is quite it's intoxicating breath, I would say. And you should feel really calm afterwards, because once you've actually done that last breath in and then relax, everything just goes really still and you come back to your normal breathing. It's an absolutely awesome breath. I really love doing this one. So you can do it seated. You can also do it laying down. So sometimes with this one it's actually better to do it laying down, but I will give you a demo with you sitting up, So because we're going to do the 3-part breath, we need to be able to breathe into the belly, the lower ribs, and then into the clavicle area. So we're going to do a few breaths of that. So I'll actually run through that actually probably just before you even start, just so we can remember what we've done. So we're breathing into the belly, lower ribs, upper ribs, and then releasing. So the in breath is just as active as the out breath. So we're going to breathe in really quick, well not quickly, we're going to breathe in fully and breathe out fully. Breathing in, well not fully, so we're breathing out. So breathing in fully and then breathing out. Not all the way, so we've got a little bit of stuffing out, a little bit of oxygen in our tank. Breathing back in and then out. So let's try that again. So breathing into the belly and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose. You can breathe out through the mouth in the nose if you want to, but I find it's easier to breathe out through the mouth. You have a little bit more control. So breathing in. So that sort of sensation. So you might find you need to move a little bit as well to get all that oxygen, all the parts of your ribs. So that's your sitting up option. Now if you're doing it laying down, it's probably a little bit more comfortable. Make sure you're nice and warm and supported. You can pop something underneath your knees. So what I will do, I will actually show you the first couple of ones with me sitting up, and then I'll do the rest of them laying down. So with this one, it makes it a little bit easier. So just relax yourself down, relax your shoulders. Just breathing into the belly and then out. So you're really feeling the fullness of those lungs. So it is quite a powerful breath in and out. It's not like you're not letting it just settle. So I will do this sitting up. If you want to sit up to do the first couple, you can do, but we're going to basically go from breathing in, out 30 times, and we're going to breathe out, nothing there, empty the lungs completely for about 45 seconds. And I'm going to breathe in, hold that breath for 15, and then release that, and then go back into round 2. Same again, round 3, then round 4. Okay. Excuse me, cough while I do that. Okay. So maybe if you want to bring your hands onto those 3 parts, you can do. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then relax. Okay, so let's start. So breathing in and out. Now if I'm breathing a little bit faster than you, that's absolutely fine. I'll time my counts, my breaths. And you might find that you don't get to 30. You might find you go a bit further than that if you're breathing a bit faster, so that's absolutely fine. Last 3 together. 27 and release. 28, and release. 29, and release. Breathing in, and then release, not all the way. Give yourself a little bit of stuff in the tank. We're going to hold this breath for 45 seconds. If you find it really uncomfortable, you need to breathe in before that, that's absolutely fine. Very nice deep breath in, breathe it in. Hold that in breath for 15 seconds. And then release. Okay, starting again, so breathing in and out. All the way up to the top of the lungs. Belly, thoracic area into the top of the lungs. Breathing in. Might start feeling a bit lightheaded. It's absolutely fine. If you need to lay down, that's fine. Last few together, breathing in and out. In and out. In and out. One last big one in. And then release. 3/4 of the way down, leave a little bit of juice in the tank. If you find it really uncomfortable, that's fine. You can start breathing again very slowly. Ready to take that breath in, so fully fill those lungs back up. And hold that for about 15 seconds. And then release. If you want to lay down, it might be good to do that now. Otherwise, we're going to start again. So start breathing in. Really fill those lungs all the way up, all the way to the top. So you fill the belly up, ribs all in the top of the chest. Keep going. Notice how your shoulders move as you're breathing all the way in. If you start feeling a bit lightheaded, that's absolutely fine. Maybe take a last few breaths together, breathing in, out, breathing out, in, out. One more in, breathing in, and release, and hold. The main thing is try not to hold the breath. If you feel you need to take that breath in, it's absolutely fine. So you do hold the breath in, 15, and then release. If everyone is sticking with me, we've got another few seconds to go. When you feel ready, take that breath in. Hold that inhale for 15 seconds. And then release. So we're going to start that again. So this time we're going to do our breath work in and out. And then when we do the out breath, I'm going to hold it as long as you feel comfortable. So I'm not going to time it. If you need to lay down, this is fine. Last few together. In, out, release. In, release. In, release. In, release. The last one, in. And then relax. Release that out. And allow you just to hold that breath as long as you feel happy. So if you need to breathe in, breathe in. If you need to release a little bit more, that's fine. Just see how long you feel. So again, you might feel tingling in your head, you might feel heat, you might feel tingling in your fingers, your toes. Make sure when you do take that breath in, whenever you're feeling ready for it, take a really deep breath in, you hold that to oxygenate your blood, and then you come back to normal breathing. Just do it as long as you feel comfortable. When you're feeling ready, again, if you need to hold out, that's fine. I'm going to take a deep breath in now. And when you release that, hold. Just come back to your normal rhythm of breathing. So just hold this breath. You might find that your breath is a lot more shallow. You're not breathing as deeply, which is fine. I find you feel a bit spacey. Your head feels really gentle and relaxed. It does kind of bring a bit of a sense of euphoria because you've got that hyperventilation. It's not an unpleasant feeling, but it might be feel a bit different. If you are laying down, just stay laying down as long as you feel happy doing so. Sometimes I do this breath work, I tend to do it laying down because that means I can stay laying down for a little bit longer. It's a meditation in its own right. So I'm going to leave you with that one. So again, stay laying down as long as you need to, or seated up. So until you feel ready to start moving. And then we do start moving just very gently. Maybe moving the fingers, the toes first. Again, just stay there as long as you feel comfortable doing so. And until tomorrow, take care. Namaste.